I think one of the major misunderstandings by the average person in our culture is that transness and non-binariness are new concepts, when in reality cultures all over the world have been accepting trans and non-binary genders for thousands of years, and we've just been unaware of this. The way people talk about gender as if it's entirely binary can make it feel like I'm not supposed to be there. Like, I'm not supposed to exist because I'm non-binary.
Well, like at work, for example, there's a couple of women who are pregnant right now, and they have like a gender reveal party. They really love the idea that like you can know what somebody's gender is before they're even born, which is so ridiculous. Like essentially what they're doing is they're throwing a party because they're like, we know like probably what the kids' bits are gonna look like when they're born. Like, yay, everybody celebrate what my kids' genitals look like. It doesn't even occur to people that they're using exclusionary language, or that they're perpetuating something that's really harmful to people.
Oftentimes, people will be fairly accurate and remember things like they them pronouns and things like that, which is always nice, but tend to slip up when things come to, speaking to a group of people and saying ladies and gentlemen. My friend and I have a joke that if someone says that, we're allowed to get up and leave, because clearly we're not supposed to be there. Oftentimes people don't consider non-binary people existing around them in their everyday life. As a non-binary trans person, it can be very challenging for me to hear, all right, well, let's split up the room into boys and girls. To just so often be told I need to check one of these boxes. People often don't realize that both makes me feel like I have to choose between one lie or another, but it also makes binary trans people feel higher pressures to either come out or completely closet themselves, both of which can be hard experiences. And if we continue to reinforce the rigid binary in our everyday lives, then non-binary and trans people, as well as cis boys and girls, being told that they're different every day, it doesn't lead to healthy relationships between people of different genders in general, and it doesn't lead to people having healthy relationships with their own gender. Pronouns are important for a variety of reasons.
When I'm walking around in the world and I've asked people, the people that know me, to use he, him, or they, them pronouns, and I've explained, why, and I've made it clear to them that it is very invalidating when I hear the wrong pronouns, and they still do that. What that tells me is that they hold their own sort of comfort or, linguistic preferences over my humanity, over seeing me as I am. It just sort of sends the message of like, I don't really see you. Or it's easier for me to just be lazy and disregard who you are as a person. So like, especially when that's coming from like a family member or a close friend, that can be extremely hurtful, because here you are thinking you've been having this reciprocal relationship with someone where you care about each other and want to respect each other. And what you get in return is invalidation and sort of this strange refusal to do this one small thing that can really improve somebody's quality of life.
Oftentimes, when I say that I use they, them pronouns, people will tell me, oh, those aren't real. You can't just call someone they, them and say that that gives them a different gender. But I've actually heard that sentence. You can't call someone they, them and say that gives them a different gender. Like, gender neutral terms exist in the English language. They, them is an existing gender neutral pronoun.
He and she are not, words that sum them up. And essentially what they're doing is they're like, hey, could you refer to me as a person and also not mislead people about who I am? Because to say he or she would be a lie. And there are some non-binary people who use he or she pronouns. A lot of the time what I find is that it's, because people refuse to use neutral pronouns, like they or them, or the more specific ones like am, airs, or z, or, things like that, z here.
The best thing in the world is having people see me as I am and treat me as I am. So if you're wondering how you can support the trans people in your lives, or if you're trying to work on using they, them pronouns or using people's proper pronouns, it's the most important thing. Having someone see you as you are